Hello! I have the biggest pile of packages from Waterstones, and I'm going to invite you to open them up with me. I forgot to bring my knife, but since there's only like one package that is taped shut, we're gonna worry about that a little bit later, so just let us try not to it's precarious power of boxes over here. But let's stick into these things so that I can show off just the I'm gonna say my absolute lack of self-control when it comes to Waterstones these days. I think, oh, there it is. Little tape pull is on this side. One thing I'm gonna say is that I'm really grateful that around the time that these packages all arrived, those times have been dry, because these boxes have not been quite able to survive. I mean, if it had been like snowing or raining, these books would have been damaged. So I'm just really grateful that it did not come to that. So I'm just gonna, to their credit, oh yes, they did package it with a little bit of plastic. This is really good because I almost dropped this thing. I mean, it's what, an enamel? I think, yeah, enamel mug made in China. It has all these types of bees. This is so cool. Like, I think there's, I'm going to try and guess how many types of bees there are in Iceland, but this, yeah, see a blue thing here. Oh, I had no idea they did that. So here is Robin Stevens. I think this is the first book in a series called A Murder Most Unladylike Mystery. Murder Most Unladylike, that's the first book. There's been a rather shocking murder at Deep Dean School for Girls, and really sounded interesting. Like, these are, you know, girls solving a murder mystery at their school. There are 10 books here at the back cover. I did see, also just look at the sprayed edges. It's really simple, but like, I like it. So yeah, it looked interesting online on the Watchstone's website, and seeing how apparently throughout the series these two friends, we are following them, how they grow and become young adults. Oh yes, this one! Merlin's Sheldrakes, Entangled Life, how fungi make our worlds, change our minds and shape our futures. It's mushrooms, it's fungi, it's that weird third type of life here on planet Earth. It's not a plant, it's not an animal, it's a fungi. And it's a fairly, I mean, it's a paperback. It's a fairly thick one. I was wondering why there was a picture of a dog. That's a truffle hunter. Isn't he cute? Ah, cute dog. Every book is made better with a cute animal in it. And yeah, really cool pictures here in the middle. So, a bit of a geeky thing. It's all about fungi. So, fiction and non-fiction all together. Speaking of non-fiction, here we have David Farr's, The Book of Stolen Dreams. Another children's book, I believe. I mean, one book with the power to change the world. Just sounds... It's about siblings, Rachel and Robert, who are... Well, the father has apparently been put into prison for trying to steal a forbidden book. It's a book about a book. I'm not explaining it well, but then again, I haven't read the book. But again, looked interesting, so I got it. And the last item in this first box What Cats Want by Dr. Yuki Hattori, Japan's leading cat doctor. An illustrated guide to truly understanding your cat. Also, this products just look huge. All about cats. I grew up with cats, doesn't mean I understand them. And I really love being around cats, and I would much rather be able to understand their language and not mistreat them by accident, so... Ew. And this is the forest book for grown-ups, Explore the Wisdom of the Woods by Richard Irvine. Ew. Tree lore. Forest fairy tales. This looks really, really interesting. Do we have forests in Iceland? Yes. Would a person from Finland call them forests? No. Do I care? I'm Icelandic, so no. It's all about like survival in wild, in the forest. Ew. I get two thick ones. First, oh yeah, this is a masterclass in crime writing by members of the Detection Club, edited by Martin Edwards. How done it? This thick, small lettered book is all about how to write a mystery of crimes. Len Dayton, Ian Rankin, Will McDermott, Peter James, Anne Cleves, Peter Robinson, Sophie Hannah, Alexander McCall Smith. It's really chunky, absolutely chunky. And the other one is the 2023 Writers and Artists Yearbook. It's all about the art of making this a business, of be a writer, what newspapers and magazines to contact. It's about writing, about publishing, how to make money, basically. All sorts of very, very good information for when, if you want to actually publish. Apologies if you can hear my neighbor's dog. It's just his breed. His breed is a barky one, so. Alright, next one. Oh, another non-fiction is by Fern Brady, Strong Female Character. So this isn't about writing a strong female character, it's about being a woman with autism in society, is what I think is basically what it is. It's, I mean, if I'm gonna read from the back, a summary of my book by, Fern Brady. I think I already said it. Yeah. 1. I'm diagnosed with autism 20 years after telling a doctor I had it. 2. My terrible Catholic childhood. 3. My friendship with an elderly man who runs the corner shop and is definitely not trying to groom me. 4. Homelessness. 5. Stripping. 6. More stripping, but with more nervous breakdowns. 7. I hate everyone at Edinburgh Uni, etc. 8. Redacted as too spicy. 9. After everyone tells me I don't look autistic, I try to cure my autism and get addicted to Xanax. 10. Redacted as too embarrassing. Xanax, I think it's pronounced. So this is promising me honesty, it's promising me a certain sense of humor. I'm probably gonna be laughing, but also probably gonna feel quite a lot for this person. I don't know what the person who packed that particular box must have been thinking, not that I care. I don't care what some faceless, nameless stranger somewhere far away from me is thinking. But it must have been interesting because first off is that lovely memoir of Fern Brady. I love the name. Love the name. Fern Brady. So that is a woman's memoir about her life. And then I got Paris the memoir. Because I am one of those millennial children who grew up basically being told that Paris Hilton was a joke and we were supposed to laugh at her and not really listen to her, and you know, everything that happened to her was her own fault and blah 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 blah. And thankfully people have since then been talking about how it seems really, really weird to slut shame someone who was 17 years old when her then, I don't know if they were together or if they were just lovers, it's none of my business, but someone leaks her sex tapes. She's 17 years old. And we were all supposed to just laugh at her, and it's like, in the past years, Paris Hilton has thankfully proved to be much, much stronger than the people telling us that we were supposed to look down at her. So, love the pink color. I think this is one of the handful of hardbacks that I got. Look at that lovely pink color. Look at that. Pretty picture. But yeah, so the person who has never been much into memoirs, I have found myself now buying quite a few. I swear, things change with age. When you're a teenager, you cannot stomach a memoir or a biography or an autobiography, and then you get older, you're like, actually let me read about what this person actually has to say. Interesting development. Just as interesting as the fact that I can never find the pulley on some of... found it. Judith Robinson and Scott Pack's Literary Cats. This is just about cats in literary fiction. Like Puss in Boots, Tom Kitten, Pankook Baum, The Cheshire Cat, Macavity, Pluto and Bob the Street Cat. Everything cats. It's just cats. In poetry, in novels, in, you know, fabled animals, companions, everything cats. Just, I needed more cats. And then I got Volodymyr Zelensky's A Message from Ukraine. Because the words of a man, the message of a people. Because this is something that needs to be heard, needs to be remembered, and we cannot forget what is happening right now. Just forgetting is not an option. And then a book by the Bank of England, actually written by Rupal Patel and Jack Meaning. Lovely name. Meaning. Can't we just print more money? Economics and 10 simple questions. Because this is a question that is something that we all wonder about. And something that sometimes we find that we may be like 25 years old and having to tell a 50-something-year-old that no, you cannot just print money when you need it because inflations, and then you have to deal with that for the next 10 years of that 50-something that is now 60-something insisting that you're still an idiot because you can just print more money, so on and so forth. Not sure that I can show them this book because I don't think that this can read English. But yeah, this is something that, like reading from the back. Why are all my clothes made in Asia? How do I get a pay rise? And what even is money? Very interesting questions, and we will get into that maybe at a later time. I don't know, I'm not an economist, I'm just a person who tries not to spend too much money, as he says, getting books. I know how to tell jokes. Yes, alright. Let's start with the books. We got Patricia Highsmith, Plotting and Writing Suspension Fiction. Another book about writing, because you can never have too many books about writing. And then we got Margaret Atwood's On Writers and Writing, because again, you cannot have too many books on writing. Particularly if ever you manage to learn something from them. That's kind of the point. But what we also get here, or I get, and you get to look at these little things, because obviously Waterstone sells more than just books. There's also puzzles, but we got Corner metal corner bookmarks. We got a cute little sleepy kitty. Oh, you can see my camera. And we got a cute little sleepy foxy. Oh, they're so cute. We get a Waterstones bookmark. I think it's, yeah, it's a navy leather bookmark. Lovely golden print. I think, yeah, I'm afraid that's like surface level. It's not like embossed into it. Yeah, well, shouldn't be an issue as long as I'm not putting in water. And then we got 4 brass page markers of tumbling books. That's so cool. That's so different. Because obviously when you got a lot of books to read, you need more bookmarks. I mean, that just stands for a reason. Let's see. I mean, this is packed just to perfection. This is the National Trust Book of Scones by Sarah Merker. 50 delicious recipes and some curious crumbs of history. So Sarah Merker is actually originally from another part of the UK. She's English, but she's been living in Scotland for like 40 years. Is what I'm trying to remember from reading quite a while back from Waterstones. Actually, I might have been speaking out my bum here. I don't care because I don't think anyone cares. But yeah, this is really cool. And then we got another children's book by J.J.R. Kanjo. Crookhaven, the School for Thieves. So, yeah. Another children's book, another fiction. I'm not even gonna bother with reading the book because I just came across another cat book. I had a couple cat poems by the world's greatest poets because cats. Look at the cover. How beautiful is that? And the back. It's a lovely. Oh, look at that. It's gorgeous. And yeah, it's a lovely little collection of poems with a pretty floppy so you can mark where you are. Oh yeah, Thames and Hudson, Tao Tao Liu. Pardon for my pronunciation. The Chinese Myths, a guide to the gods and legends. Because, like a lot of other people, I've been coming across content creators from China. I'm starting to read more books that are from China by Chinese authors. So, again, in order to understand better what the writers are aiming towards and why the characters do the things that they do and why the world is built the way it is, I feel the need to at least get my like first comprehension of Chinese myth and history and all that. I mean, hopefully this helps, or at least it's the first stepping stone towards understanding. I hope that makes sense. And the last book from this box. Randall Munro, creator of XKCD, shares scientific answers to absurd hypothetical questions. What if? And there is a Tyrannosaurus Rex in a rope. What would happen if absolutely everyone jumped at the same time? How long could a nuclear submarine last in space? What if my DNA vanished, like just up and disappeared? What are the odds of meeting my soulmate? That's presuming that there is such a thing as a soulmate. And how could we build a Lego bridge between London and New York? There's a T-Rex. Isn't that the solid pit? Interesting. So yeah, it's silly, it's informative at the same time. What more do you need? To be fair, I still haven't read the first one. That is somewhere on that bookshelf up there. The Ballad of Never After, with Not Every Love Is Meant to Be. I cannot read this before I read the first one. God damn it. Try not to spoil myself. Once Upon a Broken Heart. Yes, haha. Only took me a while to get that. Oh, it's just a lovely color. I love this type of color, like this burgundy. And the spine is lovely. Oh. So yeah, this is on the reading pile after I read the Broken Heart one, so it's somewhere up there. This one I'm actually planning to not read until sometime at Christmas time, because this is a Christmas mystery. It's by Ada Moncrief, and it's Murder at the Theatre Royal, Christmas 1935. And, you know, it's about people dying during a theatrical performance. Production of A Christmas Carol. I mean, who doesn't like good murder on Christmas time? Oh, and this is a collection by Amanda Lovelace. Women Are Some Kind of Magic. I really love the fact that this is basically taking like the tropes, the famous stories, fairy tales, rewriting them so that the women are the ones who save themselves. Like the mermaid's voice returns in this one, the witch doesn't burn in this one, and the princess saves herself in this one. And I first saw the princess saves herself in this one, and you know, was intrigued, had that one in my basket. And then I realized there were two others that just sounded as interesting, and then I found out that you can buy them all three together, so obviously I picked that one. Oh, Lucy Foyle. I still haven't read her The Hunting Party, but I got the second book, The Guest List, A Remote Island, An Invitation to Die For. So each has a secret, each has a motive. Off the windswept Irish coast, guests gather for the wedding of the year. Old friends, past grudges, happy families, hidden jealousies. 13 guests, one body. One guest won't leave this wedding alive. And the last one in this box, another one that I'm not planning to read until around Christmas time, because again, it's a crime novel that happens around Christmas. Or actually it's the word anthology? A Surprise for Christmas and Other Seasonal Mysteries. Ooh, so it's not just Christmas. Edited by Morton Edwards. British Library Crime Classics. Let's see. No, I think it's Christmas. A postman murdered while delivering cards on Christmas morning. A Christmas pine growing over a forgotten homicide. A Yuletide heist gone horribly wrong. When there's as much murder as magic in the air and the facts seem to point to the impossible, it's up to the detective's trained eye to unwrap the clues and neatly tie together an explanation, preferably with a bow on top. Let's see, it's Julian Simons, Marjorie Allingham, Anthony Gilbert, and Cyril Hare. So yay! Again, we'll be hopefully reading this around Christmas time. I really hope that Christmas this year is going to be a better reading than last year. Yeah, I got this, because I'm still trying to get myself interested again in reading The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And this year is Stuart Turton's The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Pardon? At a party thrown by her parents, Evelyn Hardcastle will be killed again. She's been murdered hundreds of times, and each day Aidan Bishop is too late to save her. The only way to break the cycle is to identify Evelyn's killer. But every time the day begins again, Aidan wakes in the body of a different guest, and someone is desperate to stop him ever escaping Blackheath. I mean, she's died 100 times, but It's titled The Seven Deaths of. Come on, see what you did there. See what you did there. And the last one so far is Pine by Francine Toon. So this takes place in Scotland. It's basically about a girl in a small town. So yeah, so it seems to be, I mean, it feels real atmospheric, very like the cover, and then the blurb on the back, it feels like it's gonna be, you know, can you actually trust your family? Can you trust your parents? Can you trust your town? Things are probably gonna go down. And also have a rabbit on the back. Kind of looks like on here though. Might be a rabbit. But yeah, so a shimmering gothic thriller, Daily Mail. Shortlisted for the Bloody Scotland crime debut of the year. Okay. A literally gothic thriller to chill the marrow. Guardian. It's Guardian, Daily Mail, Irish Independent, Sunday Times. Alright. So yeah, another. I'm gonna say not quite up my alley, but I'm still trying to push myself to read books that can terrify me. Mind you, I was traumatized by a horror novel when I was a child that I really should not have read, and it scarred me for life. But we are adults, we are working on it, so there are so many interesting books that are out in the world that I want to read them. So yeah, so far that is what I have. If I have more to add, I will add. Got 3 more. So, hang on, I'm gonna do this. I did not think this through. Hang on. Look at my pretty Terry Pratchett books. Alright, so I got Travis Baldry's Legends and Lattes. So yeah, this one I actually got from Barnes & Noble. I did find another version at Waterstones, but I wanted this cover. Like, the other one was fine, but this one is just gorgeous. So can't wait to get to this one. So and got the 8th, or do I say copy or episode? Volume. It's volume. Got the 8th volume of Spy X Family. Haven't started reading it yet, but you know, I'm collecting them. I did pre-order the 9th, but they cancelled it. Like, so I got this off Amazon, the American Amazon, the original. I don't know, the Amazon has been a bit weird for the past, I want to say 2 years, honestly. It's been really weird. And the last book literally dropped in yesterday, I think. This is a pre-order from Waterstones. It's Samantha Allen's Patricia Wants to Cull. A one-of-a-kind queer horror comedy for people who watch The Bachelor. I don't watch The Bachelor, except to basically giggle at it. But yeah, it's survival, it's reality TV, it's dating, it's survival on an island that suddenly becomes horror, terror, I don't know. But yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. And I know the back cover says everything about this character Renee, but when I read the description of Waterstones, I do recall that it had a lot more, or basically everything to do with Patricia. And Patricia sounds really, really interesting. Also, just the title, Patricia Wants to Cuddle. And this is a queer horror comedy? Okay. Yet another segment. What was these ones? I just put them in a bag. Don't usually get books in Excellent. Okay. These are the Timothy Zahn books that because I decided that I wanted to basically get more of them. So we got Star Wars Thrawn. So that is, I think, the prequel to the Legends trilogy, I think. Don't quote me on that. Don't come after me. I am an ignoramus. And then we get Star Wars Allegiance, which is after the destruction of the Death Star. Well, it's got Luke. Well, it's gonna be interesting. Luke, Leia, and Han Solo. And we got choices of 1. So, yeah, that's Mara Jade. It's gonna be interesting. Recognize her by the red hair. Books of fighting. And last in the back, we have Scoundrels, which honestly is more my jam when it comes to Star Wars. I am not a Jedi or Sith person. I am not Imperial or Rebels or the Alliance. I am Scoundrels. I am the common people. I am the vapor water farmer. I am the person who is just watching Anakin Skywalker jump between. Jump down is like, well, not a day on Coruscant. So yeah, rebels. No, wait, Scoundrels, not rebels. So we get to follow Han Solo and Chewbacca, and I'm going to guess Lando Calrissian. Yes. So to make his biggest score, Han's ready to take even bigger risk, but even he can't do this job solo. The tagline is hilarious. Alright, but that's not all. I'm also tucking this back box right now. I cannot speak. These ones. So yeah, these all come from Amazon UK. As of right now, I have placed an order with Amazon America. It's been over 2 weeks and they still haven't shipped. So we'll see. But which one do I want to start with? See. Let's actually start with a Trevenas. 2 books, the workbooks. How to Map Your World and How to Build a Culture. I got the other 4 books in the series and I'm starting to think I'm a little bit addicted, but you know, I find these first books very interesting. I do find them helpful. So when I saw that there were 2 more, you know, building a culture and making the world itself, you know, the map of it. And then we got what's your name? David Wong, which is apparently a pen name, which has faced quite the controversy because for a very good reason. And first when I read about it, I'm like, oh, I'm not sure that I want to read this book. Books. Got all 3 of them. But the more I read about it and the more I thought about it, the more I was like, actually, this might be a good lesson on what not to do. So first off, we got John dies at the end. We got this book is Full of Spiders, which I think is the 3rd book. No, wait, that's the 2nd book. And the 3rd book is What the Hell Did I Just Read? So the thing that I read about this author is Dave Wong is actually one of the main characters. So the author uses the character as his author persona type of thing. And the problem that people have pointed out is that the author is himself, I believe, a white American. But the character is Asian American, and that is Well, there were some things that people were talking about, and I'm not sure that I want to repeat them, not verbatim at least, because I'm really not into, like, I don't know anything about the author himself. I don't really know what goes on in the books because just got them, haven't read them. But the other thing that people talked about is that the stories aren't that good. The writing is, I think they said cliche. It's the premise is good, but the execution not as good as it could have been, and misogyny used as humor. You know, the traditional, usual things that we all are all quite tired of. But I still wanted to read them because I do find it interesting. Basically, from what I gather, is that the reality as it begins is not the reality as it is. And I'm done with the segment now. Yes, another part. It's been warm today. I feel like I managed to cool down a little bit, but dear lord. But yeah, so got these 2 more packages that arrived today. So I'm just gonna open them up quick. This is gonna be such a weird video. Like, I need to get to editing this and all that stuff, so that hopefully this isn't one. It's probably gonna be a long video too. Oh yes! Finally. Yes. Alright, so Stephen Graham Jones's The Last Final Girl. I have been waiting for this book, so this story wow, yes, well actually this book comes with a story for me personally, because I originally ordered this in, good lord, when was it? I think it was September rather than November of last year. Might actually be November. Not that like it matters. I ordered originally from Waterstones, and everything in that order arrived except for this book. So I mean, you know, 5 months is a little, 5-6 months is a bit of a long time to wait. So I was eventually like, you know what, I have brain cells right now, and I need to ask, I need to know why this book isn't arriving. I think I said it already somewhere, at least I thought about it, but it turns out the publisher wasn't sending them for some reason. Like, the very lovely person who replied to my query said that, yeah, unfortunately the publisher apparently stopped producing this book or something like that. And sometimes apparently publishers just don't always bother to inform the retailer, like, that they can no longer provide the product that they're asking for. Is like, I mean, I work in retail myself, sometimes it's really bizarre. But anyway, long story short, too late. I actually had to go on Amazon to find this book, and I genuinely thought for a hot moment that I would not be able to get this book, but I finally did. Amazon UK for the win. So this book better be good. I did select like 3 books with this like concept of final girls, like continuing to be final girls type of thing. I'm actually I'm challenging myself to make a separate video about these books. So let's just get to unboxing. Otherwise I'm just gonna be continuously waffling on and on and on and on. And as much fun as that is, that's not the point right now. Oh! Face masks, because I live in Iceland, in eastern part of Iceland, and one thing that you need to know about Iceland is that we have volcanoes, and usually in my area, because it's the eastern part of Iceland, is the history lesson or geology lesson or whatever. The eastern part of Iceland is the second oldest part. I think it's like 15 million years old. So we don't actually have active volcanoes in my region. However, there are volcanoes that are close by. One of them is called Ashka, and Ashka is not quite rumbling, but she's showing signs of waking up. So in case, if maybe by the time that I actually manage to get this video out, I am preparing if she wakes up and we get an ashy eruption. So I'm preparing with face masks and goggles, because last time I think it was when Eyjafjallajökull erupted back in 2010, we did get some ash flow over here. It's not half as bad as it was in the like closest region, but it was still not nice. So goggles. Anyway, happier tones. Grady Hendrix is the Final Girl support group. So that will be book number 2 that I'm going to be reading. Ooh, this is actually a winner. Goodreads Choice Awards of 2021. Winner for horror. Okay. But yeah, so this is like a support group for final girls, and someone starts picking them off one by one. Book number 2. And you might be getting, you know, seeing a theme here. We got Riley Sager's Final Girls. And again, the same theme. First there were 3, then there were 2, and then can there only ever be 1? So, self-challenge. Read horror this summer. All about Final Girls. And then there's actually another horror book which I kind of fell in love with the concept of it, because it's IKEA, but it's not IKEA, because IKEA is, you know, it's brand name. Anyway, basically it's a horror story that takes place in a store that's a lot like IKEA. Again, by Grady Hendrix, and it's even set up like a, you know, furniture catalog, and I just love the way the cover is designed. So yeah, that's nice, really. I mean, one thing I'm gonna say is that it doesn't have paper like catalogs. That's a good thing, but like chapter names, all those things, it's like, oh yeah, oh that's just cool. It's called Orsk. Kind of like Jysk, which is basically, in Icelandic it's called Rúmfallaðin, but in the original it's called Jysk, and it's a lot like IKEA. A lot like IKEA. Here's the back cover. Ah! Look how cool that is. That is really cool. But yeah, the main reason that I picked this up is because it's a horror story that takes place in IKEA, or Orsk. I could not just let this pass. This is hilarious. So I got these 4 stories that I want to read this summer. Another part. Woo! Alright, so here are more books. Maybe I should tally up how many books I've actually gotten in this second quarter. I'm basically just filming as soon as these books are arriving. Honestly though, I'm fully expecting that the later part of the year will be a little bit slower when it comes to book buying. We'll see. Anyway, on with the show. Got more of Timothy Zahns Legends, Star Wars Legends. We got Spectre of the Past, The Hand of Thrawn, book 1. It's really shiny today. Oh, there we go. Really love the cover. And we got book 2, Vision of the Future. So continuing my Timothy Zahn collection. I've got these 3 packages to go through. Alrighty. We've got, oh, love, 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 love. We've got the Gothic Fantasy. I love these. I really want to collect them. Got the Cozy Crime short stories. Got this from Waterstones. Yeah. Warriors. Various warriors. A lot of authors, different authors, because you know it's an anthology, so that is fantastic. We got Arthur Conan Doyle, Gregor Von Dare, Stephanie Bedwell Grime, Sarah Holly Bryant, Anton Chekhov, Baroness Archie's, Edgar Wallace, Israel Sanguil, Elise Warner. It's gonna be really interesting. And the other book in this package, got this lid. It's another thick one. Yes, it's Sienna McGuire's Mill Game. I saw this in a bookstore in Reykjavik last year and I didn't pick it up, and I've been chewing myself for it. I've seen a couple of people reading this. I've seen, thankfully there have been very different opinions on what people think of it, which is the best, because if people do not agree on a book or what they think of it, that's why I don't like it. I really don't like it when everyone agrees on a book, because then you start thinking, probably a little too hyped. But this one is apparently really wonderfully confusing, so I might need to read it a car. Well, I don't know. It's really thick though. Might need my more than 2 brain cells to read this one. Because it's about Roger and Dodger, who are twins, aren't exactly human, though they don't realize it. They've got this not quite father who is an alchemist, I believe, named Reed. And the last line here is, "Godhood is attainable, pray it isn't attained." Okay, so people trying to become gods. And of course, alchemists. So that is, I mean, I've been hunting down for this book and waiting for an opportunity to get it, because, I mean, sometimes you just get really interested in a book, and I really hope that I like it. I really hope so, because it took me a while to get it, but you know what? It is what it is. We'll see when I get to it again. And then another Waterstones. Oh yeah! By Rupert Holmes. The McMaster's Guide to Homicide, Volume 1, Murder Your Employer. Yeah, this one. It's about becoming a deletist, not a murderer, never murderer. Where you will learn the consummate execution of the homicidal arts. So basically, yeah, it's literally about teaching these characters how to murder their employer. I don't know what to think about this book. I don't know. I really don't know what to expect. So it's gonna be really interesting, and I really do love it. So another red cover. This one is by L.T. Shearer. My pronunciation of his name is just like all over the place. The Cat Who Caught a Killer. It's a cat who's a detective. He's named Conrad. He's adorable. So the main character is called Lulu Lewis. Mourning the recent death of her husband, the former police detective had expected a gentle retirement, quietly enjoying life on her new canal boat, the Lark, and visiting her mother-in-law Emily in a nearby care home. But when Emily dies suddenly in suspicious circumstances, Lulu senses foul play and resolves to find out what really happened. And a remarkable cat named Conrad will be with her every step of the way. Just look at this design. Look at it. It's adorable. So it's about a widow who is a former detective, who joins forces with a stray cat to discover the true cause of her former mother-in-law's untimely death in a care home. And the last one now, another red book. I'm obviously in the red book. Also, Cozy Mysteries. So we got J.M. Hall's A Pen Dipped in Poison, signed, sealed, dead. Yeah, I also got the first one, I believe. A Spoonful of Murder, Milk, 2 Sugars, and 1 Dead Body. So, got these two. Cozy Mysteries, Retirement Can Be Murder. I mean, it's got food, it's got retired people, it's got murder, it's got coziness. I'm game. I am so game. And then we got Katie Brent, How to Kill Men and Get Away with It. Another cozy mystery. Meet Kitty Collins, Friend, Lover, Killer. He was following me, that guy from the nightclub who wouldn't leave me alone. I hadn't intended to kill him, of course, but I wasn't sorry when I did, and despite the mess I made, I appeared to get away with it. That's where my addiction started. I've got a taste for revenge, and quite frankly, I'm killing it. A deliciously dark, hilariously twisted story about friendship, love, and murder. So it's about a woman serial killer who targets men, I guess. So that's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a very interesting blend with the cozy mysteries that I got. You know, cozy mysteries are about finding out who done it and why. This, we have the person who is doing it. So that's gonna be interesting. And the last book of this part, the heftiest one, and I'm really waiting on this other one, because this is book 2 of the Nomena series by Lindsay Ellis, Truth of the Divine. I did also order Axiom's End, and that one is somewhere on the way. I was really hoping that they would arrive together, but yeah, really hefty book. So Lindsay Ellis is a YouTube content creator. I've followed her since she was on channel Awesome. But this is sci-fi, and obviously I'm not starting on book 2. I'm gonna have to wait for book 1. But yeah, this is basically, I think, about aliens who come to Earth and how people deal with it. Basically, I think. Okay, I think we're reaching the end of this compilation video. Like, I have no idea how many cuts this is gonna be, how many edits, how many videos I've actually filmed. But you know, I have no idea how long this video is gonna be. It's gonna be so interesting. But yeah, like I said, I think we're reaching the end of it. So again, it's Waterstones and Amazon America today. Let's go. Alright, so Waterstones. I really love getting, okay, off topic, but I really love getting these boxes from Waterstones. I can't show this side. I can show this side. For some reason, I just really love getting these boxes. It's like, it feels somehow more special than when I get Amazon boxes. I don't know why. There's just something about them. Maybe also because I can track them on my Post app. So it's like Waterstones in Newcastle, Bath, Glasgow. It's like all over the place, and I'm like, oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. Somehow it's more cool than Amazon. Like, Waterstones is cooler than Amazon. Like, I've said it. That's my opinion. Oh no, wait, it's not the last of it. There's more. There are more books that haven't shipped yet. I just remembered as soon as I saw. So I got more Christina Henry. I've got Christina Henry's Horseman, which I believe is based on the Headless Horseman story, which is retelling, obviously, clearly. And then we got, or I got, maybe you have, I have no idea, The Girl in Red. And I remember as soon as I saw this cover, I remembered I also ordered the Peter Pan retelling, which I get a feeling is like from Captain Hook's perspective. And that one hasn't shipped as of filming, so there's potentially one more video at least to be made. But yeah, this is a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood. I still have, right, so Peter Pan, the Lost Boy, I mean, is the one that still hasn't shipped. But I haven't ordered the Mermaid. So there's more stories. Aha! So I oh no! Oh no! It got injured. But yeah, this is Jesse Sutanto's Rare Wong's unsolicited advice for murderers, and 60-year-old self-proclaimed tea expert, tea shop owner, matchmaker, detective. So an old lady who loves tea, matchmaking, and there's a murder mystery that happens, isn't it? Oh yeah, she wakes up one morning to find a dead man in the middle of her tea shop. I think that's why I picked it up, because it's an old lady finds a dead man in her tea shop. It's like, I mean, that kind of like hits all the notes for me, doesn't it? It does, very much does. Oh yeah, here's the... Good lord, what happened? What is up with this box? Oh, good lord. What happened? Something has happened with this box. Because these two... Oh no, this one's also like a little bit flipped and damaged. But these two are glued together. What happened? What is that? Good lord, what got stuck in here? It's nasty. Like this kind of like a residue type of glue thing. Oh, I hate that kind of glue. There must have been like a sticker or something. Excuse me while I try to salvage this, because I do not want this on my books when I stack them, because I stack my books. I have so many books. So many books. And not enough bookshelves, so they get stacked. Care. So really, there was something that's not supposed to be here. Oh. It's very nice, but I think I got most of it at the very least off. So these two will need to be in isolation until I get it properly off. But on happier notes, this is Lindsay Ellis's Axiom's End, the first book to the second one that I already, showed off here. Sci-fi, I don't really read sci-fi, but I've been watching Lindsay Ellis for years, and I mean, I cannot trust her to tell me a sci-fi story. It's got aliens and stuff. And this one is Katie Watson's The Three Dahlias. So this is the story of three women who have played this very famous character called Dahlia. Oh, look at the work it got. I have no idea what happened with that box because it doesn't look like off. But yeah, it's one weekend convention, three very unconventional detectives. I mean, it's shiny on top of it, like the gold plate leafing on this is making it a little difficult to read. Three rival actresses team up to solve a murder at the stately home of Lettice Davenport, the author whose sleuthing creation of the 1930s, Dahlia Lively, had made each of them famous to a new generation. So yeah, this sounds really, really cool. And then we get to the Amazon books. Nothing to protect the books, they've just been shoved in here. But they are all Star Wars. I got... Okay, so there's no author given, but the How Not to Get Eaten by Ewoks and Other Galactic Survival Skills. Just these type of kind of like geeky books are absolutely up my alley. I just love these type of books. Oh yeah. I got the Star Wars Essential Guide to Warfare. This one has been recommended quite a bit by people who talk a lot about Star Wars. I do have the Essential Atlas, which is so much fun to flip through. Oh, this one is just as pretty. So many pretty pictures. We love pretty pictures. But there's also like the character guide and tech and droids and all sorts of things. Like, one thing with Star Wars is just how much material there is. Last but not least, I got Star Wars The Smuggler's Guide. I have, I think, all of the other books. I got the, let's see, the Rebel Files, Imperial Handbook, the Bounty Hunters Code, the Book of Sith, and the Jedi Path. And now I have the Smuggler's Guide. And I do believe that I've said it in other places, and I will keep saying it. I am neither for Jedi or Sith. I am neither for the Rebellion, or the New Alliance, or the Empire. I am more for the scoundrels and the smugglers. I'm way more interested in them as people, and honestly, I am way more interested in the people who populate the galaxy. I'm more interested in the common people, the commoners, the people in the background. I've always been more interested in them. And when it comes to Star Wars, I'm just more like smugglers and scoundrels. It's just something about the type of a person who decides, you know what? I'm gonna go there. Out of the way. So this should be the last part of this haul. I don't see that there's gonna be any more books arriving in time for this second quarter book haul of mine. There is one book that is like payment taken, hasn't been shipped. None that is order received, and one pre-order so far that isn't until October. So this last Waterstones, this Waterstones order is going to be the last one of this video. So I always start in the wrong end. Continuing my journey into discovering biographies and autobiographies. Tina Turner. I had to. I just had to. Tina Turner, the autobiography, My Love Story. So it's her, the difference between biography and autobiography. Biography is usually written by someone else. An autobiography, I can English, is usually written by the person themselves. So sadly, Tina Turner passed away earlier this year. Which, it's just the fact of life. Where there's life, there is death, and where there's a long, interesting life, that is. I'm not gonna make myself sad now. But yeah, it's kind of funny when you think about people that you have been aware of your entire life, but you don't know anything about them. So when I saw this on the Waterstones front page, I'm like, I feel like I kind of owe it to her to at least try and get to know who she was in her own words. So Maybe I'm just being parasocial. But yeah, like I said, I don't expect any more books to arrive in time for me to add to this video. I do believe it's probably long enough as it is. If anything else arrives, then it's just going to have to be part of the third quarterly haul. So yeah, I think that is, this is the end of this video. I am the maker of this video. It is my decision when it ends, and I say it ends here. So hopefully there's something else on this channel of mine that you like. I do have a running series where I am rereading the entire Discworld canon novels, and other bits and bobs that are here and there and everywhere. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you again. And until then, take care. Bless, bless.